this resonates with me. I have changed my vibration the last few years from my own loss and grief, and had my there tell me to look grief and gratitude as a pair. Didn't get the concept at first, but do now. Yep. It's really, really, really interesting how when we wake up and say 5 positive things, and I've said that a lot on here, it really can change the course of your day. I started doing that. I've talked about it many times. It's called lucky girl syndrome. They've actually studied it. And there was these, I guess, these young women influencers, and they're like, lucky girl, everything we want, we get, something like that. I don't really know all the details, but they studied this lucky girl syndrome, let's say, with groups of people who had the mindset that they get everything they want. Like my youngest son, I always say he has the luck of the Irish. My husband's descended from Scotch Irish folk. And I always tell my youngest son he has the luck of the Irish because he always has good luck with things. And there's something to that. When you believe it to be, it will be. So I am a terribly grumpy person in the morning. Terribly grumpy. I am not a morning person. I've never been a morning person my entire life, no matter how much sleep I get. And I was a teacher for 20 years in the classroom. So you'd think at some point I would adjust to that. And I didn't. So I used to wake up with all these negative thoughts every morning. And then I heard about this lucky girl syndrome, and I started saying, okay, when I wake up, I'm going to say 5 positive things. It's almost always, I love my bed. It's so cozy. I love the sunshine coming through my windows. You know, I love that I have a roof over my head. I love that I live in a safe place, you know, blah, blah, blah. I love that I have a beautiful office with all my little plant friends who I love so much. You know, I just say, and it has really changed everything about my day, and actually has helped in my business as well. Like ever since I started doing that every day. And I also have a little Post-it note by my bed. Your therapist. Yeah, I wasn't sure what that said to me. I have a little Post-it note by my head with some positive affirmations about my business. I read it in the morning and I read it in the evening, and it really, really makes a difference. So the next point I want to talk about is the collective is a mirror, which is how, so this can be taken in a couple of different ways. What triggers us with other people, like if somebody says or does something and we get upset by it, we should, now I don't mean if somebody's abusing you, obviously you should be upset by that. What I mean is if someone is doing something that you're like, oh, I don't like her shoes, blah, 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 blah. She thinks she's this or that because of her shoes. We should look at ourselves and say, well, why do I care about her shoes, first of all? And what difference does it make to me or anybody else about her shoes? And maybe I wish I had those shoes, or I wish I could afford those shoes, or I wish I had pretty feet to walk in those shoes, or whatever we're saying to ourselves in our mind. Whenever we are judging someone else, it's almost always something like that. I mean, like they shouldn't wear a bikini, or they shouldn't wear those shoes, or they think they're fancy in that car, or whatever it is. That we should look at ourselves and say, why am I judging that? What is missing in me that I need to judge that? So we need to look at ourselves when we are judging others, right? And when we look at ourselves and when we reflect, we realize, oh man, I've been really judgmental and mean, kind of. Like I think back to things I said and did 10, 20 years ago, and I'm like, wow, I'm embarrassed. Like I was really judgmental, and I was mean sometimes, and saying and thinking mean things about people. I didn't have that intention when I did it. I didn't know better. I know that's embarrassing, right? I'm sure we've all had those moments where we've said or done something and reflected back later and been like, oh my God, I should have never said that. So we need to think about how we judge other people and how it's a mirror for us. And there's a lot of negativity in the collective right now, a lot of negativity. And that is why we are feeling a lot of negativity. So it's kind of combined, right? The collective group is a combination of how we all feel collectively and individually. So we need to think about that and change. That's why we need to raise our vibration, change our daily habits, think about why we say and do things, think about why we judge, think about what our mindset is when we wake up in the morning. These are all hints and tips to raise the vibration. Thank you, Vicki. Thank you, Vicki. So any questions about that? The next point I want to talk about is, what is high vibration? What is raising the vibration? What does that mean? Why do people say that? How do you do that? So the number one highest vibration energy is love. So if you've ever fallen in love and you had that feeling of first falling in love with someone, that I can't wait to be around them. I can't wait to talk to them. I can't wait to see them. I can't wait to hold their hand or kiss them. That is a high vibration. That is feeling good, and nothing else matters. Nothing else matters. If somebody cuts you off on the highway, but you're in love, you don't think twice about it, right? Because you're vibrating at a high frequency. That's an example. So, or when you first hold your newborn baby and you bond with that newborn baby, if you've had that experience, you bond with that newborn baby and you're so in love with that baby, and it's nothing can bother you. Nothing can upset you. Your mother-in-law can say stupid things to you and tell you how to be a mother. And then you think to yourself, I've seen your work. Why are you advising me on how to be a mother? That was a joke. I saw a meme that said that. Anyway, I think I'm funny when, but anyway, back to holding your newborn baby and you're so in love and nothing can bother you. That's a high vibration. When you receive some unexpected blessing, when you receive, a new job or a raise at your job, or your grandma buys you a car so you can get to college or whatever, and you get an unexpected blessing and you feel gratitude and you're so grateful and just thankful that you received that gift in whatever form it took, that's high vibration. Love and gratitude. It's so important to raise the vibration, shift the collective by your own individual thoughts and feelings. It's very, very important. If anybody can relate to the mother-in-law comment, please chime in. Water Lily got it. Thank you. Thank you, Vicki. I saw that meme about a mother-in-law giving you parenting advice, and you're saying, I've seen your work on Instagram, and I thought, that's amazing. Kimmy Cat said, I feel like judgment is one of our original sins. Great point. And the hardest trait aspect of our humanness, and so connected to ego. Yes, yes, yes.